Imagine discovering an entire city, completely swallowed by a mountain. A massive, sprawling complex built for one terrifying purpose: surviving a nuclear holocaust. A place so deeply classified it literally didn't exist on any map.
Picture this: the world above is burning. The sky has turned to ash. If the absolute unthinkable actually happened, would you survive inside a secret underground bunker?
Buried deep within solid rock, this hidden metropolis was designed to house thousands of people. We're talking millions upon millions of dollars pumped straight into its concrete veins. Honestly, if World War III had kicked off, this ghost city would have instantly become one of the most crucial command centers on the entire planet.
Millions of dollars. Let that sink in for a second. The sheer scale of wealth, the cutting-edge engineering, and just the raw resources poured into building this survival complex, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
Think about the logistics here. They literally carved a fortress deep inside a remote mountain and sealed it off with massive steel doors. The thousands of workers who built it, sworn to absolute, unbreakable secrecy. It was strictly forbidden to photograph a single inch of the place. Officially speaking, it was a phantom. It just wasn't there.
The whole world was living under this constant, looming shadow of nuclear destruction. You had the United States on one side, terrified of a sudden, devastating surprise attack on American soil, and on the flip side, the Soviet Union was consumed by that exact same paranoia, quietly building massive, secret bunkers just like this one. Both superpowers were completely locked in a terrifying stalemate.
And that dread, it escalated rapidly. We saw years of intense competition, with nations racing for military dominance, bleed right into decades of sheer, unadulterated paranoia. Underground facilities were being buried beneath forests and mountains globally. As those nuclear weapons grew more and more powerful, global conflict didn't just feel possible, it felt absolutely inevitable.
The construction itself was just a brutal, methodical process. First, engineers had to carve massive tunnels straight through solid rock. Next, they installed these incredibly huge steel blast doors. Doors specifically engineered to take a direct nuclear strike. And finally, they built the intricate power systems and communication centers required to keep the whole bunker running, even if the world above completely ceased to exist. Life underground was carefully, almost coldly planned out. Inside, you'd find extensive sleeping quarters, fully equipped medical rooms, independent water supplies, massive emergency generators, and enough long-term food storage to keep people alive for extended periods. Every single detail in there was designed for one thing, and one thing only: survival.
But at the heart of all this was something called command and control. See, this wasn't just some civilian fallout shelter. Not at all. It was the vital nervous system for the Soviet Union. This strict military doctrine was put in place to ensure that top leadership could survive, totally sealed away, to continue operating long after the initial nuclear flash.
To actually guarantee that survival, the walls had to be incredibly thick. Heavy protection and extreme security were enforced absolutely everywhere. In fact, the secrecy was so intense, so locked down, that even many top government officials had absolutely no idea about the true scale of this monumental fortress.
Above ground, life appeared normal. Below ground, an entire emergency headquarters waited silently. For decades, that eerie contrast pretty much defined this facility. Communication systems were relentlessly tested. Emergency plans were constantly updated. It was essentially a fully staffed ghost town, just waiting in the dark for a doomsday that everyone prayed would never actually come.
And then, something shifted. After decades of preparation, where personnel literally trained daily for the end of the world, the geopolitical ice finally began to thaw. The Cold War entered years of de-escalation, and ultimately, the Soviet Union collapsed entirely. So in its final days, one of the most highly classified facilities on the face of the Earth, well, it simply lost its purpose. It's wild to think about. A complex, meticulously built for humanity's absolute darkest day was ultimately abandoned, becoming nothing more than a historical relic. But because it was left behind, the workers, who once couldn't even whisper a word about its existence, they could finally speak out. And that turned a top-secret installation into this incredibly chilling window straight into the past.
The truth is, today, this secret Soviet bunker is really just one of many. All across the globe, similar facilities exist. They're hidden beneath mountains, buried under dense forests, scattered across dozens of different countries. And they stand today as these silent, hulking reminders of a time when the entire world actively prepared for the unthinkable. Ultimately,
This secret mountain city was so much more than just a bunch of concrete and steel. It was a raw symbol of global fear, a symbol of human survival, and really, the ultimate physical manifestation of exactly how far nations were willing to go to prepare for a devastating war. Fortunately for all of us, the catastrophe it was built for never arrived.
Which brings us to a final, lingering question to take away from this explainer. If you were suddenly offered a place inside a secret nuclear bunker during a global crisis, would you choose to live underground for months just to survive? Or would you stay above ground, with your family, and face whatever comes with the rest of humanity?